Hello Illusionites, what's up, how you guys doing? And today we're going to be doing another reaction video, and it's going to be another reaction video, revolving around League, and it's about a different popular league. It's going to be about Project L. So, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of weeks ago I did like a reaction to NetCrit's, lore video about the, MMO that Riot's going to come out with soon. And I'm so excited for the MMO, and, I was thinking about, man, Riot has like a lot of project comes up, and Project L is another one that I'm very excited in. So I was wondering if any other YouTubers who did any like lore videos or like maybe champion prediction videos about Project L, or made like a video about it. And luckily to my avail, another YouTuber that I really like, NickyBoi, shout out to him. He does like amazing like league content. Made a video called "What's the perfect Project L roster could look like," and I was like, oh wow, this would be great to react to, because I am curious, like what could the roster really look like? Like there's so many champions, and I won't even know where to start and how to narrow it down. So yeah, I'm gonna be reacting to this video, and yeah, let's get right straight into the reaction. Let's react to this video. All right, let's go.
And have my whole life. Well, most of my life. I wasn't really allowed to play video games till I was like 10. But oh, the fond memories of Street Fighter arcade machines, Smash Brothers with the homies, or
Smash Bros has such a nice roster.
Old laptops through totally legal means.
Do you yield? I do not.
But of course, this is me we're talking about. I specialize.
That's another thing about NickyBoi. His ads are amazing.
I completely fucking suck at. And hey, that reminds me of a certain other game. It was a dream of mine to see my favorite champions fight it out.
Oh wow, does someone make Caden and zero-calorie? That's great.
10-year anniversary, I got my wish.
Project L, right?
Project L was officially announced. I wish I had the recording of my reaction when this was announced, because I lost my mind.
I did too.
The League of Legends fighting game. It's everything I could have wanted. I couldn't wait to play it. And wait, I did. It would be many months.
It was such a long wait. Oh my god.
Even a peep at what the fellas over at Riot were cooking up. But in November of 2021, riding the wave of the arcane hype train, comes a brand new trailer. A revamped art style.
It looks so good. I like the new art style so much. It's really nice.
Rollback netcode. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, the rollback. Nice,
And
nice.
of course, the promise that we would not be left in the dark any longer. That the game now had a solid direction, and it was time to finalize the character roster. Now, for those uninformed,
Oh, that was kind of weird. I thought the video was ending already. I was like, what? That was so strange.
It's all well and good, but what really matters at the end of the day is the characters. It's why guest characters are so prominent in fighting games. Alien in Mortal Kombat, Darth Vader in Soul Calibur.
Yeah, fighting game has some crazy guest characters. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, yeah. Smash Ultimate, one of the best fighting games of all time, in my opinion. My opinion. The same.
The overall interest and health of the game, and frankly, it was my biggest worry upon the initial reveal. In our first preview, we got Darius, Ahri, Jinx, and Katarina.
Cool.
Echo revealed over 2 years later. Now, is this a problematic start? No, not at all, but you might notice something very similar with all these champions, that they are all very popular in League of Legends specifically. Well, these aren't bad picks by any means. They were worrying for the roster ahead, that there was a very high chance, just like we see with skins, there would be an insane amount of champion bias.
Yeah, that's fair.
Champions like Lux,
can't really blame them though.
Realistically, would be entirely out of place in a fighting game environment. They'd be put in the roster anyway because popular champion XD. Do notice though how I said were, because on August 1st, 2022, we got
Lowry.
Changed everything.
Lowry, yeah.
Was confirmed for
that was a nice pick too.
Why is that insane? Because nobody plays this f***ing champion. Try to ruin
She's so perfect for the game though. She really is.
The golden season of League lost the time for her kit was too niche for the common League player to comprehend.
Yeah.
So why then? Why is Alawi in Project L if she's this unpopular? It's simple, really. She's a perfect fit for a fighting game, and this is
I think popular and like unpopular champions should be, you know, put in. Give it a bit balance, you know. Simil would be good. Oh my god, Simil would be great. And set, jeez.
The most perfect starting roster Project L could possibly have. A perfect representation of what the League universe has to offer.
Vi would be amazing too.
Being a great introduction to new players. But to decide the
wow, even Pantheon would be. Oh man, there's so much good League characters.
We're putting our base roster at an incredibly generous 28 characters.
Okay, not bad. Not bad.
1/6 of the entire
That's fair.
League of Legends roster, but put this in perspective. Street Fighter V, while having an impressive 46 character roster today, started with only 16 playable characters. Multiverses, while adding a new character every 2 weeks, fucking psychopaths, also started with only 16 characters. And Killer Instinct, while at a great roster now,
had like 6.
An enormous roster of 6
Yeah, like it was so bad. It was so
Not
small.
16, 6. 28 by comparison is an incredibly generous base roster size for a fighting game these days. When I suspect the actual base roster won't even come close to, especially if Project L plans to
This game looks incredible. Like incredible, guys. Like wow.
Every 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. Rule number 2. Champion variance and diversity is very important.
Yes,
The goal of this roster is
yes.
to be the best representation of Runeterra it possibly can be. So by that logic, we should that every region has at least one champion representing it, that a good number of Runeterran species and races are all represented.
Yeah,
So
all
there's
the
a healthy
species
balance
and
of
races in the
popular
region
and
should be all
unpopular
represented.
champions,
Yep.
and that the roster would
Correct.
allow for a wide selection of fighting game character archetypes. You gotta have some grapplers, rushdown, puppet fighters, joke
The
characters.
zoners.
Fine, we'll put in a zoner too.
Just as I mentioned it.
And this was more to appease my
Zoners are fun in my
ADD brain,
opinion.
but
They might be
Project L
annoying
is
for some
tag
people, but I really do
team.
like
Although
them.
I like to avoid
Have that
forced
balance. That'd be
synergies,
balanced.
I do think it's really cool to add some encourage pairings into the mix. You know, something like Jinx and Vi. As
Makes
the Saw
sense,
Knight
makes
sister
sense.
duo.
Yeah, the
Now,
sisters.
Speaking of Vi, she was never officially confirmed, was she? Well, I suppose we should start this roster off with roster choice number 1 is Vi. And do I really need to explain this one? In fact, I don't think I need to. She's basically already confirmed to be in the game.
Oh, is
Take a look
she?
at some of the older photos we have for Project L, specifically regarding the staff. You can see the back wall contains a painting of both Vi and Jinx. A painting
That's
very
cool.
much in the style of the initial teaser posters we got for the game.
Oh,
Plus,
wow,
there's literally
really?
no way she's not gonna be in the game, guys. Like, come on, she's insanely popular, especially after Arcane. You
Her
know,
gauntlets.
weapons,
Yeah, her
well,
big
she
gauntlets.
kinda
Yeah, it
looks
makes
like a
sense.
fighting game character, doesn't she?
It just makes so much sense for her.
It feels so obvious she has to be there. But see, that's the sad part. So many Zonite champions are perfect fits. Ionia too. But with a roster so small, I had to cut it down to only a chosen few. We're already at 3 Zonites with Jinx, Vi, and Echo. I couldn't possibly add more. Except there's one more that has to be there. For those in the dark, the people working on Project L are the people of the studio Radiant Entertainment, a fighting game studio founded by Tom and Tony Cannon. You know, the founders of EVO. It's only the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. Radiant Entertainment would later go on to be purchased by Riot in 2016, midway through development of their own fighting game, Rising Thunder. I bring this up not only
Cool.
to point out how experienced the devs are, or how we knew Riot was working on a fighting game this whole time. No, I bring this up because Rising Thunder was an all-robot-based fighting game. So you know these guys are experienced at making robot-based characters for fighting games, so what better robot
There's
to put
Crank?
in Project L than the Crank himself?
Wow, okay.
Character? Check. Electricity-based? Gotcha covered.
Yeah.
No longer using the old-ass, busted-ass, big meaty claws having decade-old model he's been stuck with for so long. Give him the one.
Damn, you didn't have to do all that to Blue Cranks.
Plus, we've
I
already
mean,
seen
it's true,
the
but
Bilgewater
sheesh.
League via Project F.
Oh, yeah.
Is that game still happening? He's a bit of a
I
goofy
hope
character,
so.
but sometimes you need that in
The game
fighting
looked great.
games, and he's a perfect fit for that in my books. And as I said, there are a ton of other perfect fits for Piltover and Zon. Warwick, Camille, and Zac to name a few. I'm sure we'll get more in the future, but for now, I think Jinx, Echo, Vi, and Blitz are as much Zon
That was a
as we
solid.
get right now. Moving from Zon up to the second most perfect pick popular
Piltover?
in Runeterra, Ionia. We already
Oh,
have
damn.
Ahri helping to represent
We need more villains
Zon
in this
type.
roster. I hope we get more
Guys,
villains,
if
you know.
both Lee Sin and Set aren't in this game, then something went wrong internally. Back when Set first
Yeah.
launched, a lot of people immediately assumed he was a guaranteed in for Project L. I mean, look at him. He's basically the definition of a fighting game
Oh,
champ.
definitely.
I was
His
skeptical,
moveset's
though, and that's 'cause
perfect.
I thought it was too little too late. In a fighting game like Smash Bros., for example, the roster is often what's decided first. Smash Ultimate's whole pitch was its roster. But we did find out for Project L that this isn't the case. In fact, judging from several job offerings still up, it's very likely the roster has still yet to be decided. So for a
Wow,
character like
that's
Set, I
crazy.
think his spot is guaranteed. Same goes for Lee Sin. This man's was designed to be in a fighting game environment.
Definitely.
Well, he already has it
His
in
ult
League of
enough.
Legends, so the developers would have tons to work with for a potential moveset. The only problem with adding both of these guys is that now, along with Blitz and Vi, that's 4 bruiser-style punchy characters in the game already. And with a roster so small, we need to balance things out. I never thought I'd say this as a Smash Brothers enthusiast, but we're gonna need a sword fighter.
Yasuo?
No shit, Yasuo's
My
gonna be
favorite
in this game. Now that
champion.
think
I
about it,
know,
it's
I
the
know,
right
guys.
thing.
Leave me
Now, The main
alone.
cast of the Ruined King has been in every single Runeterran-based game ever. Hell, set 6 of TFT was revolutionary, as it was
Oh,
the
wow.
only set ever to not have Yasuo present in some way, shape, or form. And then there's Rammus, who's never been in a single set of TFT ever.
Rammus is never going to be in TFT ever.
But
Unfortunate, he'd be
Yasuo's
really
got
cool
a
with his
very
ult.
unique
Knock up the
weapons,
whole board.
marketability, the wind powers,
There you
and
go, there
all
goes one
the
TFT
play
thing.
style. He's just one of those champions you'd be more shocked to not see in the game rather than actually see him. Speaking of obvious, I think we got room for one more Ionian on this list.
Okay,
And this one's
Ari?
almost no-brainer. Granted, it
I
was
mean,
a
not
bit
Ari,
of a
she's
toss-up,
in.
though. I could have gone with
Akali?
Akali, Irelia, Shen.
Oh.
Hell, if I really wanted to drown myself in personal bias, I could have gone with Ivern here. All of them excellent picks, but something.
Who
came
is
to
it
my mind.
then?
One of the coolest parts about Ionia story-wise is its own internal conflict. From the Navori to the Kinku to the Shadow Order, there's a constant civil war between its own people. And well, who better to represent the dark side of Ionia?
Ah,
Zed.
cool, Zed.
Would've been a great choice
Now
here
we have
too.
like a ninja
Firstly, it's
character.
much easier for me to
That makes
imagine
sense.
moveset for Zed rather than Kane.
Nikki, I'm very
Like
impressed,
Zed,
Nikki.
it's
These are
instant
good
noob shot
picks.
by teleporting, shadow clones, slice and dice assassinations, and
Yeah.
Zed before Zed
Like I
was
said,
Zed.
this would be
It
too
was
overwhelming for me to
why
even make a video
was it?
on. Like I couldn't do
Why
this.
was Noob's role in MK11 story mode so fucking worthless? In any case,
No?
that's the last of the Ionians. Like I said earlier, there's so many good picks
I don't
here,
play
it
much
was nearly
MK, so I
impossible
wouldn't
to
know.
narrow it down to so few. But now we can move on to the other regions. Only one of
Cool.
which has more than 2 spots on this list, most of them having only 1. So let's start with the third largest region with 3 picks. Noxus. Initially, my pick here would have 100% been Scion. However, we already
Swanye?
have Darius, and when we're trying to have as diverse a roster as possible, 2 giant Noxian axe-wielding
Swain would be
men seems
cool.
a little bit.
Have Darius and Swain in the lots would be
Sorry,
cool.
Scion,
And we have like another
back to
villain.
matter where you belong. However, you know what isn't redundant? A badass demon controlled
Yes!
Noxian warlord.
Let's
Any major
go.
in this game, Swain was the best pick in my opinion. A zoner? Hell no. Swain fights in the front lines. He's a battle mage. He can send
Let's
out ravens,
go.
electrocute you, maybe use his powers of vision to increase or decrease enemy players' cooldowns. I don't know, man.
My
This pick feels
friend
too perfect to
Fritz
pass up.
loves
Something
Swain, so
too
that'd be
perfect to pass
cool.
up. Samira. Now, hold on. I know what you're saying. Well, Nick, you said that Scion couldn't be included because he's too similar to Darius. So why is Samira fine when Katarina's in the game? Well, first off, you're a dum-dum for even thinking Katarina's half as cool as Samira. And secondly, we haven't seen Katarina since the first teaser 3 years
The only
ago.
thing they
The
have
roster selection
similar is
for
like the
Samira
old,
is a
they
good
just spin
chance
around,
Samira
but
cut from the game
they're
altogether.
different.
It's a good practice that happens in fighting games sometimes. Rest in peace, chorus kids. In this
Oh,
instance,
no.
if
I
Katarina's
remember that.
removal was to make room for Samira, I'm completely game. And if you're looking for inspiration moveset-wise,
Dante.
Dante and Marvel vs.
Devil May
Capcom
Cry.
for
Yeah,
5
she's the
seconds,
Macau
and we'll
character.
all piece together. Moving on to the Freljord, we have several options. Ash and Trinamir are probably the most obvious ones as they're poster boys for the game. My counterpoint to their inclusion is they're fucking boring and I don't like them. But you know who everyone likes?
Bomb.
Goddamn Braum, baby! One of, if not the most universally liked champions in all of League of Legends. I like to imagine for an end screen outro animation, he just gives you his hand, sits you down by the campfire with a cup of hot cocoa and some
That's so
portals.
sweet.
Just be a really cool guy to fight with, as, and against.
Yeah,
Not to
that'd be
mention, we can
cool.
finally see Braum's real power. He's a protector, of course, but he's a strong guy. He's been relegated to a 0 damage dealing support for far too long. Originally, I was gonna have Udyr take the second Freljordian spot. One, because I
Oh my
like him a
god, his
lot,
dances!
obviously, and
He'd
two,
be so
because I wanted
perfect.
representation for the Freljordian demigods.
Yeah.
Now, you can probably tell this video was initially concepted back in February because now we have modern Udyr. With all the Freljordian demigods' power at his disposal, who better to represent that aspect of Runeterra than Udyr? Plus, swapping between different stances
So
has been a
good.
staple archetype of fighting games for decades. Vega and Street Fighter V, Nightwing and Injustice, the entirety of post-MK4 Midway Mortal Kombat. It offers up especially unique ways of play. With
Yeah,
Udyr
Udyr makes
five
so
known
much
demigods,
sense.
The possibilities are endless. Hey, maybe we'll actually get something based on the Seal Sister this time.
That'd be cool.
Please. On to Demacia. Choosing a Demacian rep was a bit tough. For the opposite reason Ionian and Zon was. Where they had too many perfect picks, Demacia has
Too little.
barely any. Every option here feels like it would be too unwieldy.
This Poppy, her
and
big
flat out
error.
boring. So for my money, the most interesting option here by far is probably
Shyvana.
Shyvana.
Okay.
Only because she offers something totally different to the Demacian norm, but she would be our fire-based character, our dragon-based character, and potentially a transform install super-based
true.
character. Going back and forth between
I could see them adding Garen though, or Lux in some fashion. They'll find a way.
So desperately needs. Of course, if the only
Probably.
Demacian rep was a character so un-Demacian it hurt to comprehend, that wouldn't be very good representation. I'll still lock in Shyvana as a definite pick here, but if I had to
100%.
choose a true Demacian to join the ranks, I'd honestly say Fiora.
Ah,
I'm a
Fiora.
sword fighter
You know what, that's
alongside
cool.
Yasuo for sure, but at least a very different kind of sword fighter. Another choice here would have been Garen, but like I said with Ash and Trin, he's fucking boring and I don't like him. Fiora would be fast and nimble, swift but graceful. The closest comparison I could think is someone like Kai from Guilty Gear. Lots of dashes, lots of slashes, lots of French. And I know what you're thinking, where's Silas? I thought he'd be a perfect fit for this game. And yeah, actually, I think he would. However, I have a much better idea for the character that would take his place. In my opinion, every fighting game needs a Shang Tsung-esque character. One that steals the moves of other fighters or copies their moveset entirely.
Oh,
12,
what would this be?
Omen, Kirby. There's just something so fun about copying your opponent's moves and throwing it back in their face.
Viego?
Silas is a perfect fit for this, right? After all, he steals people's ults. But that wasn't enough for me.
Viego?
Shang Tsung characters are at their best when they can copy everything about their opponent, even down to their physical appearance. And not only has Nico
Nico?
got that covered, but she
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Remember Ixtal, guys? Right?
No one remembers Ishtal.
Anyone? Anyone? No?
Hilarious.
Regardless, this would also present a perfect opportunity to expand her copy abilities, as in League, she's landlocked to only copying her enemy's appearance. Like to mention, like Shang Tsung, she isn't all tricks and illusions. She has plenty of power for herself beyond masquerading as other fighters. In theory, Viego could have worked for this spot too, however, Viego can only copy his opponent's abilities when they're dead because he's fucking stupid. Circling back to Bilgewater, I still can't believe Alawi was actually the 5th character to be officially announced for the game. In fact, seeing all the love for Alawi recently with Project L, Ruin King, has been kind of overwhelming. It should be left in the dark for so long. But Alawi and the Buru people are only a small part of Bilgewater. There's the sunny shores, the terrifying depths, and of course the legendary Bilgewater Harbor. And let's be honest, between all that Bilgewater has to offer, this is down to only 2 real options: Misfortune and Gangplank. And for my money, I kind of have to go with Gangplank here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In most instances, ADC champs would be a poor choice for Project L. Not to say having more range-based characters in fighting games is a bad thing, because everybody already knows it is. I mean, did you even play against Deadshot in Injustice 2? Or Injustice 2 in general?
Gaming.
Jinx, in my opinion, is the only one that really works, because she'd be crazy enough to bonk you over the head with a gun instead of shoot it. But on the topic of GP, he would be a phenomenal pick for this game.
Hell yeah.
He would function a lot like Predator.
I wonder how his barrels work.
KI.
That'd be
Trap-based
interesting.
Character laying fire and barrels all across the field, ready to explode and combo together at any time. And remember earlier when I said I didn't want to make too many.
He would be like a unique zoner.
I did want to make some encouraged ones. Well, we
Very
already got
unique.
Meteor and the Sinus one, so why not throw in the bitter Bilgewater X's in there for good measure? Not those ones. Now we're in the deep end. At this point, the remaining regions realistically only have room for 1 rep. It helps that they're smaller regions, but it doesn't make choosing the most favorable candidate any more difficult. For Targon, I narrowed it down to 2 possible options:
Diana.
and Pantheon. And for my money,
Oh, no,
I
not
would say
Diana.
Pantheon. And that could come from the fact that Pantheon is an inspiring soldier who fought through hell and back to protect himself
Makes
and the
sense.
people he loves, while Leona is a genocidal bigot. Jokes aside, though, both have equal reasons for being the initial Targon rep for this game. And hey, I've always complained about Leona's design being so boring in comparison to her Solari followers, so maybe this will be the game that finally brings her outfit up to date. But I do
Hopefully,
want you to
yeah.
imagine something for me. The fight is dead even. Squaring up the final battle, you've built up your super meter just enough to get your super move off. In the heat of the moment, you activate it. Pantheon grabs his opponent and hurls him to the ground. Then he leaps into the sky beyond the stars. The music starts to swell, and as he comes crashing back down to Earth, this music starts fucking blasting.
That would be so badass.
Tell me Pantheon shouldn't be in the game for that alone. Next
That'd
up
be
is
cool.
Shurima, and realistically my pick here should have been one of the Ascended, as they represent the region the best. However, like Legends of Runeterra, I think this game should be mindful of champion size. Azir is the only one I feel like could be translated to Project L smoothly, but even then it might not be the best option. I mean, we've seen how buggy he was in League. The best option in my opinion is none of the Ascended, it's Talia. I always think that how cool Toph was an avatar, or for a fighting game perspective, how
Man,
cool
I would love to
Summer
see
was
Talia
in
and Kaisen in
DX.
this.
Something about Earthbending
That'd be cool.
is just such a visually powerful and interesting concept. And hey, that's another easy pairing. Yasuo and Talia, Wind and Stone, Teacher and
Yeah.
Student. Plus, Talia is over 20 now, so I'd love to see how Talia and Yasuo would interact with each other again post-character arcs. Just
Yeah, that'd be
get
cool.
Talia's actual voice actor back, please. No hard feelings towards the LOR one. They're a good voice actress. It's just, you know, I'd take League Talia over Desert Lux any day.
I'm glad it brought us back together, Yasuo.
The Shadow Owls rep would be Thresh. I like to make it clear that my opinions on this channel are subjective, and you're fully within your right to agree or disagree. But if you think that any of the Shadow Owls champions deserve this spot over Thresh, you are objectively wrong, and I'm not explaining this further. Now, Yordles are a bit of a touchy
Yordles.
subject, and not because there aren't cool Yordles, because of course there are. I'm talking more from a purely fighting game scenario. Short characters are a bit problematic. Rocket Raccoon, Goku GT, Yoda, yes, this is also real. Short characters in fighting games are a pain in the ass because moves that would normally work on everyone else, they avoid just by existing. If a Yordle were to be added to Project L, I'd say they need to pick one that works around hitboxes. So no Heimer, Fizz, Tristana, Teemo, etc. The only Yordles I could see working are Kled or Rumble, who are on top of mounts, Poppy, big ass
Kled,
hammer, which you could
please.
to make her model larger, or Gnar with with his Mega Mode
Oh,
transformation. And for the sake of another good pairing and giving Nico a shape-shifting
No, it'd be
I'm gonna
cool.
go with Gnar on this one.
No, it would be cool.
Really a Banal City rep, but hey, there's a bunch of prehistoric Yordles in Banal City, so fuck you. The Void is a tricky one though, because Void doesn't really have characters. The most truthful and honest representation of the Void are the mindless, matter-hungry monsters hellbent on destroying.
Delvareth, maybe as a
The problem
villain.
with that is that characters like Cho, Cog, and Rek'Sai aren't really characters, but you know who is a character?
Vel'Koz?
Vel'Koz, one of the only 2 sentient Void.
Oh, cool. So we can have a Shimago rap character,
and sure,
and that'd be
Bel'Veth
cool.
might work better than Yordles, and she actually has physical attacks after all. But take one look at Shumagorath from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
You can see clear as day.
Yeah,
Kha'Zix would
yeah.
definitely work. Kha'Zix would be a good choice too, but for my money, if you're adding Kha'Zix, you have to add Rengar too. And since Nico already took the Ixtal slot, I had to cut them both. But hey, they would make a pretty cool DLC expansion, right? I mean, they already did it for Wild Rift. Of course, we know the Void Rep's actually going to be Kaisa, but a boy can dream, can he? Now, here's a pick I know you guys weren't expecting. Neela. Shut up. I will fucking die on this hill that Neela got way more hate than she deserved, and she's actually a really cool character.
She's really
So,
cool.
the fact that I nominate her as the representative of the
I really
Eastern
do like
Eastern
Neela.
regions of both Kamavor and Kathkan. Since we know neither of these regions very well, nor the Kamavoran champions really even associated with their homeland anymore, I think Neela is more than a perfect fit here. And hey, this would be a great chance for her to truly distance herself from Samira, giving her a kit that's truly all her own instead of just Samira, but I work better with enchanters. Plus, we already got our Earth, Fire, and Airbenders, so why not complete the set with a
Waterbender,
Lastly, now
yeah.
that we have every region covered, I do think we need a few champions who don't have ties to any region.
Vise,
Ones that really
Vise,
demonstrate just
Vise
how
is a
great
wanderer,
each
and he's very
of
important to
their
League.
is. And for this, I wanted one of 3 different things.
Give Vise a
demon,
winner.
a celestial, and a world-ending threat. And
Damn.
I know we already have Swain and Neela giving us that slice of demon representation, but I think a full-on demon in the form of Fiddlesticks has to be there.
What?
Alternatively, I think Evelyn could have
He'd be
claimed the spot,
cool,
too,
yeah.
but Anatomy-wise, there's nothing in Runeterra like Fiddlesticks. Just looking
That's
at his
true.
movements in League reminds me of Hisako from Killer Instinct. Man,
Oh, yeah,
these
100%.
guys that truly give off the sense that something is very, very wrong with this thing. Not to mention, out of all the demons, Fiddle is the demon, the primordial manifestation of fear. And who doesn't like a good old-fashioned spooky character in their fighting game, especially around this time of year? As for Celestial, every fighting game has to have a troll character. And while you could argue Gnar could fulfill this role, I'm talking more about the full-on Dan-level, useless, unorthodox, pain-in-the-ass, goofy as can be troll character. Yeah, sure, Trundle, that's the easy one. Here, I'm talking about Bard.
Bard?
Like,
Oh
what
my
the fuck would he
goodness.
even do? Throw meeps at you? Open portals to other dimensions? Freeze himself in place? Call Meduli for assistance? The possibilities for wacky, insane shenanigans are endless, and that's why he would be the perfect
Yeah,
character.
that makes sense.
Finally, we're at the end.
The last
Fighting
character,
game
who is gonna
is
be?
big bad final boss. And while someone like Bel'Veth, Viego, or Aatrox would be good picks, I think this
Ooh.
spot had to go to Mordekaiser.
Yep.
Ultimate big bad of Runeterra. The
I agree, I agree. I'm not mad at that at all.
even then, struggling to take him down. If Project Hell somehow managed to squeeze out a cinematic story mode, I betcha Mord would make an excellent antagonist. Working
Oh,
on the side
wow.
until he finally awakens at the end, and you as the player have to take him down once and for all. And when we do already have big boy characters,
This
like
is
Blitz and
solid-
Braum
this
already,
is a
I
solid
think Mord would
roster.
take the cake
Wow.
For the big boy of the game, the slow-moving, tanky, super armored to holy hell, unstoppable juggernaut, dishing out insane damage if you so much as slip up once. Thinking about Mord in a fighting game scenario just makes me hype, and personally, I think that's the best thing a fighting game can do. Well, that's
100%.
my hypothetical roster for Project L. I
This
spent a
is
lot of time
solid
thinking,
roster,
so narrowing
wow.
down who I think the perfect fits would be, making sure that
This
as
is
much
so
of Runeterra's
cool,
represented as
wow.
possible, and most important to me, making it so that an outsider or fan of League would look at Project L and say, damn, that's a pretty cool roster of characters. I'll give this game a try. And like I said at the beginning, this is a pretty generous base roster size, but so many great picks had to be left out because there just wasn't enough room.
I like the art,
Evan,
by the way, Nicky. I don't know if you did it yourself
Warwick,
or got commissioned, but I love the art a lot,
the
Nicky.
list goes on. This is just what I would think would make the best starting roster Project L could possibly have. But of course, those are just my silly personal opinions. Be sure to let me know yours down in the comments. Do you agree with my picks? Do you think some critical choices were left out?
I do agree. I think I like all your picks. You have a lot of nice reasons. That was a good video, Nicky. I really loved that video. I'm glad I reacted to that. Okay, so cool. So yeah, like that was a solid roster, and it made me so excited for the game even more. Like, I wonder what the next update is gonna be, and I wonder what the actual roster size is gonna be, and who's actually gonna be in the game. But like, if any of those like picks get in, like I would not be mad at it. Honestly, I really would not be. Like, wow. Like, yeah, having like Swain and stuff in there. You know, like Lee Sin, Yasuo, one of my faves. That just makes so much sense. Man, like Jinx and Echo, like all these characters I like. It's so cool. It's really cool. Like, it's really cool. And I like how all your choices were all justified and actually, you know, made sense. You know. I'm not sure, like, you can, I'm sure, like, you know, it's a fighting game. People are pretty creative. I'm pretty sure any option in League would, if you had, like, enough thought and, like, mind put into it, could make sense. But, you know, it is interesting, nevertheless, like, yeah, like, I'm just so excited for this game to come out, and I honestly cannot wait. It's gonna be such a fun day. And, I believe this game is free, no? Is this game gonna be, like, a free-to-play game, I believe, guys? Please correct me down in the comments if that's true or not. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I think that's it. Gonna be it for this video. Tell me what you guys liked about this video. And yeah, and go check out Nicky, of course. Like, I'm gonna put his channel down. I'm gonna put the link down in the description below. And for his channel, because yeah, he makes like a lot of like great like League content. Like, he makes like a lot of amazing League content. And, like, he deserves like all the hype and praise that he gets, and all like the fans he's gotten over like the past few years. Like, he works so hard. And he's a college student like me, which is interesting. I didn't know that until like recently. But yeah, I'm really excited for Project L, and I hope you guys have a really nice day. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Of course, it's not required, but it will help out the channel. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye.